did you think of Monday Night Raw? Seth's group is finally taking full form. The Judgment Day is in trouble, banger matches, and there was some long segments in there too. So speaking of long segments, I thought that the opening segment with Seth, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman all together was great, but also very long. And I think it's mostly because, what do you think? But for me, it's a lot of the intros to Raw, the superstars walking backstage to start the show. Then we have the promo with the entrance. Then he talks eventually after the woes. Like, yes, the segment itself with Seth was, I think, somewhere around 15 minutes or whatever, but it really felt like 35 minutes of this whole thing. But their whole thesis was that, and I really did like this from Paul Heyman really putting over Bronson Reed and the history of Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins, like making it make sense. That's the thing you want in wrestling in your show. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. But I did like that they put over how dangerous Bronson Reed is in this entire thing. It's great to have him as an ally. Paul Heyman talked up Braun Breaker as well, future WrestleMania main eventer with a very impressive bloodline in himself. So they did a wonderful job, I thought, of really connecting all of this. But at the end of it, I thought this was like 8 minutes too long. They really could have sped through this, but they made a good point of showing off the new full faction. Do you think they add more members, or do you think they're done? And where do you think they go? Like, I know we are going to be getting stuff at Money in the Bank with Seth. Do you think SummerSlam is going to be a 6-man tag? That's my kind of guess here, is that we get Roman Reigns returning, Roman teams with Punk and Sammy, or Jay, but maybe Sammy, and it's 3-on-3. They could do something like that. Okay, highlight of the night for me here, for Matt here, is going to be this triple threat Money in the Bank qualifying match. Penta, Chad Gable, Dragon Lee. Go watch this. I'm not going beat for beat in this thing. I'm just gonna say, go watch it. Banger match. I hope Chad Gable is okay. Chad Gable got busted open towards the end of the match. He took some gnarly moves in this whole thing. Like, the powerbomb looked rough, but I guess he landed it from Dragon Lee. There was the suplexes. One spot he like landed on his head or his face. Like, it was, Chad Gable got beat up in this match. But this was top to bottom, best match of the night on Raw for me. I just cannot get over how wonderful this thing was. All three guys did great. Great for Dragon Lee as well. Like, I know he wasn't gonna win the thing. I just thought great for him to get singles opportunities to showcase what he can do. They keep building Chad Gable and El Grande Americano and all of this, but at the end of the day, you got Penta qualifying to move on into Money in the Bank. That's going to be great, and I think we're going to see like a Mexican destroyer off a ladder or something. The other great thing we got on Raw, small, yes, but Tozawa and Rusev. Rusev getting out there doing a little bit of a squash, but it forced Sheamus to come out and confront Rusev. Michael Cole talks about their history because they were in, what was it? The United Nations together, or whatever it was called. United Friends of the World. League of Nations, that's it. So Rusev and Sheamus are face to face. I can't wait for when Wade Barrett is on commentary and he talks about like, oh, I've been in the group with these boys. And they reform the whole thing. Alberto's kicking around. They could reform League of Nations. But anyways, I am glad that they are teasing this match as kind of Rusev's first feud. Sheamus is always popular and over at this stage in his career, and you want to get Sheamus into something really good. He's been mixing it up with Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, but now that he's maybe moving on from that, Rusev and Sheamus, I think, could put on some just killer matches. Big, heavy, hard-hitting matches. When I saw these two confront each other, I immediately thought, give me a best-of-7 series, Rusev and Sheamus. Then they could tag together at the end. I'm kidding. But I'm looking forward to this. Something for both guys to do. Rusev just got back to WWE, and I think this is a better spot than him just mixing it up with, you know, Otis and Tozawa every single week. Triple threat tag team match was on Raw. This was good. Not my most favorite. SmackDown's doing a really great job with the tag division. You know, title matches happening constantly. TLC match every week. They got Fraxium in there now doing lots of cool stuff. They really try to build the tag team division. I still wish they would give a little bit more time to storytelling, like not just, hey, let's go out and have matches. Raw's tag division has been in the toilets forever. Now, the match itself, really good, really fun. Not a huge fan of the triple threat. I gotta be honest. Triple threat tag team match. Why? Because I don't like the rule of tag in anybody you want. I don't like that, where they just come in and they just slap somebody from the other side and then he gets in, and I don't like that. I think it should just be tagging your own teammate and maybe even an elimination style triple threat would work a lot better. But there's a lot of chaos, a lot of big spots. War Raiders, I should say. War Raiders really stood out to me in this thing. Just a hard hitting match. So I did like it. New Day retain, and they ran away, and then they're probably going to set up a future match on Raw between all of these teams. I hope that they continue to do more. The hard thing, it seems like, for WWE is telling compelling stories with the tag division, Raw and SmackDown, but especially on Raw. Feels like now they're going to start doing a little bit more. So we got some promos on Raw as well. One was in the ring and one was backstage that I want to touch on. The one in the ring, Jey Uso and Gunther. Jey comes out, he yeeted, Matt fast forward for most of the entrance there just to get to the point. I didn't care for this only because it really was a rehash of the previous week. Like, now we're in a holding pattern to get to the Raw after Money in the Bank for the Gunther Jey match. I have no doubt it'll be a lot of fun. There's a lot of intrigue in there now with Money in the Bank, but this really just felt like, let's rehash what we said before the match with Logan Paul happened. So it is what it is. It just furthered that we're going to get this match. I do believe, based on the main event as well, I'm still stuck, man, on Money in the Bank cash-in happening on that episode of Raw after Money in the Bank, the June 9th, I believe it is, where we're getting Gunther and Jey in the title match. They're hyping this thing up for weeks. They are talking about it endlessly and getting past Logan Paul to get to the Gunther rematch. I think that they're just making this a huge deal. This is going to be like a 25-minute match with a cash-in. That is my prediction right now. The other promo we got, a little tiny moment, but it was a backstage segment, and it was Sami Zayn, and it was going to be Karrion Kross. I like Karrion Kross. I like that Scarlett was standing on ladder. A little bit of foreshadowing of like, hey, we should be in ladder match, but they're not in ladder match at all. But it does feel like we are going to get Sami and Karrion Kross at some point. However, they have teased this even before WrestleMania. That didn't seem to happen. What happened to Karrion Kross and AJ Styles? Don't know. I don't even know if AJ was on the show this week. I don't think he was. But I hope that they do something with Karrion Kross. Him and Sami was a match I wanted to see before Mania. And Sami did say, like, I will deal with you later. And Kross is all like, yay. Cool, like, yay. He got a big pop too, which is great. Now, the other big story beat we got from Raw that I love, and it's mostly for Finn Balor, because it's now the new dynamic of Judgment Day. Liv Morgan returns from her movie. Roxanne is the new consulting feature in the Judgment Day's clubhouse, and she's hitting on Dom, and Dom has gone from Rhea to Liv to Roxanne. Dude's doing something, but I love this. I love just Finn Balor, because Finn Balor is screwing everybody. He's screwing with their heads, and he's loving it. Go back and watch the backstage segments here and look at Finn, because his face the entire time was priceless, because he knew he was causing all of these problems. So you have the tension now of Dom and Liv coming in with Roxanne being there trying to rub his shoulders and offering him some nuggies and some tendies, and it's not working for Liv Morgan. Now, out of this, once the smoke clears on all of this stuff and the shenanigans for Judgment Day, are they going to break up? Are they going to twist it again to keep the whole thing going? Because it's got a new set of legs on it, I feel. And with Liv coming back, I don't know if the dynamic is going to be Liv turns face, kind of like what happened to Rhea, or is it going to be Dom he forces himself out of the situation and Dom turns face and he leaves all of this Latino heat over there in the clubhouse? I'm not sure, but you know what? I'm intrigued to see where they go with this. And I mostly just want to see, it's Finn Balor, man. Finn was awesome. So we did get the Liv and Kairi Sane match that happened, where it furthered more of the shenanigans of this whole story, because you had Roxanne coming out to try and help Liv Morgan and take out Kairi Sane. The match was good, but it was mostly for that end of the match moment there where you had Roxanne come out and try to interfere. Raquel is not too sure, what are you doing here? You're not helping anything. And they got screwed over. But what was cool is that in the backstage after the match, you did have Liv kind of blame Raquel. So it's an interesting dynamic here with what they're doing. I don't know what's going to lead, but you got to suspect at some point you're going to get Roxanne versus Liv Morgan. And they're doing like dominant Shark Cage again, right? But the Judgment Day saga continues. Speaking of continuing sagas, Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, promo time. These guys came out and they set up that they're going to be having a title match for the Intercontinental Championship one more time at Money in the Bank. I really enjoyed the match they had at Backlash. Thought it was a standout match in ring. I really did enjoy it. This promo was fine, but so now we have a stipulation going into this thing, right? So now it's going to be Becky has, it's go time. Becky has to win. If Becky loses, she cannot challenge for the Intercontinental Championship ever again, as long as Lyra has it. Becky's like, I want you to raise my hand if I win or when I win. So it's going to be a little intriguing. You got to think at this point, is Bayley coming back to get involved in this? And since Lyra won at Backlash, I wonder if Becky would finally win. I kind of had my money on that Becky was going to win at Backlash to get the IC title. I'm not too sure. They're doing a better job with Lyra. Look at Lyra like 6 months ago, or even a couple months ago with the IC title, and where she is right now with Becky. This feud is doing a lot for her to keep elevating her, give her more promo time, and she clicks well, and she's got good rhythm and everything with Becky. So I'm enjoying the feud. Maybe just sprinkling in Bayley and you got all three of them in the mix could really work. Even if Becky gets the IC title, Lyra is now getting herself elevated enough where she can stay in that mix, not like drop down at all. So I'm excited they added this to Money in the Bank. We got the tag team matches, Cena and Logan Paul at Money in the Bank too. The qualifying matches were 2 ladder matches. So Money in the Bank is shaping up to, it's looking okay. Raw main event time. Before we do that, look at me. Look at me right now. I'm serious. Not really. I'm just kidding. I was wondering if you guys can do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, because when I look at the YouTube stats we have here, we got like 60% of people, you watch, but you don't hit the little sub button. It's totally free. It just shows YouTube that, hey, they like this stuff and they want to keep watching. So it's all good. So if you can, do that if you enjoy the content here. And if you don't, well, then that's okay. I got nothing for you. But the main event match, we got the triple threat, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor going in there. And he's going to go and he's going to take on his old buddy, Seth Rollins. That's terrible. And then this match, very good. But the end of the whole thing, at the end of the day, you do have Seth Rollins picking up the victory, and he is going to be in Money in the Bank. As Seth predicted, he said he's going to go in, he's going to win the triple threat, then he's going to get Money in the Bank, he's going to cash in. You had the shenanigans at the very end with Seth's group in there, Jay coming out as well. This is the one thing with Raw that I really like, and you know what? Hey, SmackDown, Road Dogg. Oh, you didn't know? You should probably look at what Raw is doing and try to copy it. Only in that I wish that they would take some cues for the story beats, in that they intertwine and layer a lot of the stories. So you have so many different people involved. Dom came out in the main event as well. He slid the chair in. Dom is the IC champion. This type of stuff is what I really like with Raw, is when you have so many characters and people mixing it up, because they all have different motivations. CM Punk comes out at the very end after Seth wins the match, and then he hits a GTS onto Seth Rollins, and then he celebrates in the crowd, and he almost fell off this stance. That was scary for Mr. Punk. But I really like how they do that, where you're gonna have Dom and Punk and Jay, and then everybody else in the match too. It creates a really fun dynamic. So we got SmackDown, another Raw and SmackDown, and we got Money in the Bank. And speaking of Money in the Bank, I got this video because it's going through the silly prices of these tickets. Have you seen tickets for WWE shows? Oh my gosh, in a little while. So click here, have some fun, have a great day. See ya.